Welcome to the Football Friends podcast. My name is Gage, and I'm joined here today by Ash.
Kia ora.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad at all. All right, well, I thought we could start this podcast today with a moment of silence for the death of Thomas Tuchel's career. Because it was it was only like a week or two ago that he has in fact been sacked by Chelsea and replaced.
Is he also lying in wait? He's in the casket. In the casket at Stamford Bridge, just waiting.
Yeah, surely. Yes. So I suppose I should mention it for real. Of course, the Queen of England has passed away, and that has halted most football-related things around that sort of area of England and stuff like that. So there hasn't been a lot of football, but we'll just sort of talk about what else has been going on. We can catch up on a few things, and yeah, starting out with the appointment of Graham Potter to Chelsea. How do you? What are your thoughts on that, Ash?
I quite like Graham Potter. I think he's a savvy manager. Obviously, what he's done with Brighton, he's taken, a lower squad, and they're consistently middle table now. So, he deserves a chance at a big club, at a big six, or at European competition sort of club. So that's good. Before we got Conte, I was a fan of him and would have liked to have him at Spurs. So,
yeah.
I'd like to see how he goes.
Yeah,
a bit of cash behind him. And, by the sounds of it, he's got a project at Chelsea to get on with. So,
yeah, well, this actually surprised me a lot. It's kind of very out of character for Chelsea to take a risk on a up and coming manager like this. I mean, aside from when they had Lampard, but generally they're always going to go for the big name. So
is this the change in ownership though? This is what this is though, eh?
I think you're right. Yeah, I think that there is a lot changing at Chelsea to do with football culture and all those kind of things as well. And
yeah,
so Graham Potter is kind of a sign of a big change.
Sorry.
Oh.
My dog doesn't like change, obviously.
Yeah. But and I agree with you that I think Potter is an excellent tactician, and he gets so much out of his players because maybe there's just this kind of negative perception against the Brighton team, but they're not regarded as being the best players around. But maybe sorry, go ahead.
They're not though, are they? Like they are they're good players, but he had them playing like a good manager gets players to play in a good system and get good results.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah, you can have a team like PSG where it's best players and have a bad system and it doesn't work. So
yeah, well, that's kind of like, I mean, when Pochettino's at Chelsea, he wasn't. Oh, sorry, when Pochettino was at PSG, he was like the win wasn't just instant. You still have to have good tactics and things like that. Not saying he's necessarily bad, but it's not an automatic win. And Brighton definitely has some good players, but I think if anything, Potter sort of earned some more respect for those players because
the sum is better than some of its parts.
Yeah, I mean, their goalkeeper, Robert Sanchez, this is a fantastic player. I actually think he's really good, and his system is a very English system too. There's so much emphasis on the fullbacks with the overlap and all those kind of things. Like the two most important positions in those teams are fullbacks.
Yeah.
And
Obviously they sold one of their fullbacks, and
wow, they made a ton. They made a ton of
Yeah.
money on that signing. And because I think Kukurea is probably one of the best left backs in the league at the moment. Do you think there's who else would there
I
be?
think there's Gonzalo.
Oh, that's true.
Who's I guess he's no longer even a fullback. He's just a midfielder.
You know what he wears 7?
Stop. Just stop putting the back 4 out on paper. It's not a back 4 anymore.
Yeah,
it's a back 3. Just give up and say it's a back 3.
Yeah, and it's funny too because he is right-footed too, so that's why I didn't think about Cancelo because I always think he was a right back, but they actually sold Zinchenko, and Mendy is still suspended for naughty deeds as well, and
reasons unknown.
Oh, they're known. I just don't want to get the stream taken down by talking about him.
Oh, what did he do?
Let's just say him and his mates. No, I don't even want to. I feel like it's like defamation if I say this.
Him and his mates did some stuff
with some ladies. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I can say. And he's in court for it.
That ain't nothing but a thing.
Well, look, there's plenty of footballers going through that at the moment. But, anyway,
so the key is to get back with them, and then they drop the charges.
Look, I'm not okay. Look, I know I said that the other day, but I don't want to confirm. I can't confirm that. I couldn't find a good source for it. But I don't want to talk about that. But anyway, so yeah, I think this is a good move. He did have Graham Potter has had one match in charge, which was against I want to say Salzburg, and it was a 1-1 draw, which was sort of the same result as which I know. Well, I mean, Tuchel lost 1-0, but again, they didn't get that new manager bounce and just immediately fix the issues. I think there's some personnel issues at Chelsea too, because I was going on about how little depth they have for ages, and it's sort of coming to a head now. But I do think that Graham Potter, he does play a back 3, but lately he seems to have been playing a back 4. So he might add a bit more balance. He might be able to organise these players in a bit of a better way.
Yeah. And it's going to take a while for those players to get used to him and how he wants to play. He typically defends from the front as well, which I don't think those Chelsea players really do a lot of. So that will be interesting to see how they implement that. Kai Havertz isn't going to be pressing a backline, chasing people down. So
you're kind of right. They have a lot of players like that. So
almost lazy, a lot of lazy without the ball players.
Yeah, because all their forwards are it's Pulisic, Havertz, Sterling. They're not considered like big guys. I mean, Havertz is 6'2" or something, but like he's skinny, But they're not like pressers, not really.
No, they have the potential to be if they set up the right way and it's like they've trained that way, then they can be very hard when they like to play against when they don't have the ball. They have enough pace in that team to be able to chase people down.
Yeah, definitely.
Again, they have great fullbacks. A solid midfield, like.
Yeah,
I just wonder if the reason Potter was keen to go was that he saw Brighton at their peak, and he could have seen it as we are now a selling club. We're just going to sell everyone.
Yeah.
This was his chance to get quality into a quality side that will improve each year with new signings and things.
Yeah, I think that's a good call because he definitely left at his peak. He got so much out of that squad, earned his move, And then you're right, they would have sold everyone, and he wouldn't have been given the resources to replace everyone immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, they lost Basuma. They lost
Cucurella.
Like, these are, even if you bring in somebody, you have to bring in somebody really good to replace these guys.
The guy Moises Caicedo has sort of taken over from Basuma, and he's looked great.
There is talk that he wants to follow Potter as well.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so like there's these players that are like, could be keen to follow on. So
Oh, one article I saw was actually quite funny, was that, Chelsea signed Dennis Zakaria on loan in the deadline day, 6 hours from the end of deadline day. And apparently he signed specifically because he wanted to play with Tuchel.
Oh.
Unlucky.
Yeah. Poor bastard.
Yeah, like he packed up his whole life in 6 hours before the deadline day. Like, didn't even know about the move until that day.
Yeah.
To go play with the manager he wants to play with, and he gets replaced. But if anything, yeah, that's actually what he says. He says, football moves fast, so what can you do? And it's actually kind of good, because it means that he actually has a chance to cement a position in the squad, because there was no way there's no way Tuchel was going to drop Jorginho or Kante or whatever. He sort of was, he likes, he liked his team. He always picked the same kind of team.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for Graham Potter. I think, good manager overall, and it'd be good to see like where he can go with it.
Agreed.
All right, so nothing else you want to say on that? You want to move on?
Nah, Chelsea are scum, so we can move on.
Yep. Good way to end it. So speaking of more scum, more London scum.
Yep.
Your boys Spurs have been doing very, very well. And and I think
you're in the Premier League.
Yeah, look, there you go. That's makes a lot of sense, yeah. And your predictions have been fantastic so far,
Yeah. The only one I'm falling short on is Kane being top goal scorer.
Oh, there's still time. I mean, he's still picking up a goal. He's still pretty consistent.
Yeah. So.
And that's just because we have Erling Haaland in the league.
That's it.
Wrecking it for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
we're playing well. Obviously a big win against Leicester, 6-2.
Yeah. What a win.
A bit shaky till halftime. Madison's goal was a banger.
I know, it was so nice.
Yeah, mate, he just hooks it. He hooks that volley so hard. It's just and then Bentancur, man, like what a midfielder.
Yeah. That was beast, man. Wins the ball back high up the field.
Yeah, scores the goal off the post, and then sets up the third goal for Son on halfway by taking the ball off somebody, and then setting up Son to that barn burner from 25 yards.
Like, all three of his goals were insane. They were so good.
Sonny looks like Sonny doesn't look like he's been out of form. Like, he looks like he's been scoring as many goals as Haaland.
Yeah. Well, I keep talking to Paddy about this thing, the reversion to the mean. And it's like if you ever have this big run of no goals, you're going to eventually you'll just score 3 in one game to like get back to your average, And that's kind of what's happened here.
Yeah, you have to. Otherwise, like, what's the point of having an average?
And it seemed like a really good call on Conte's part to actually drop Son, because
Son wants to play every game. So it obviously gave him that bit of fire of, I'm not undroppable.
Yeah.
Which he has been for the last, since he's been there pretty much, he's been undroppable.
Yeah, man.
So, like,
Amazing player.
yeah, now we have squad depth. We can afford to drop him to the bench
Mm.
and,
Yeah,
yeah, improve
and
with
both Perisic and Richarlison have been putting in a shift as well, both of them. So there's
yeah,
definitely competition.
yeah, Kulusevski, Lucas, like, they're just everywhere, eh? There's so
Yeah,
much depth in that forward line that,
which
yeah.
is that's so crazy to think that like Spurs was the team that basically just relied on Harry Kane for for ages, and now you have like a buffet of options up front.
Yeah, absolutely nuts. But yeah, on the sheet 3 times. Kane scored again. I think
Yep, header.
he set another record by scoring the most goals against one team in the Premier League.
Yeah, he's got a
Leicester is
crazy
like
record against
it's,
Leicester. That's right.
it's like 19 against Leicester.
What?
Yeah, and when you think Leicester haven't been in the Premier League that long,
Yeah, yeah, true.
you know,
It's insane.
so
Yeah.
yeah, pretty much his whole career he's just been bullying Leicester.
Mm.
Yeah,
Well, and,
which is
and
random because he also played for Leicester as well.
on loan,
And
yeah, that's right.
he scored more goals against Leicester than he has for Leicester.
That's pretty funny.
Uh,
But
so
so and
that's a good one.
yeah, so it's all going good. Looks like you are fighting for this top spot, and I think Conte has even admitted to this in an interview that he knows that they may be in the title race this season, which is just really interesting to hear. And I think that what he really needs to do is get you guys a trophy because it has been far too long. And that would be, oh my God, if he achieves that, he's like a Spurs legend.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I think if he's going to get a trophy, it either has to be European trophy, FA Cup, or Premier League. I don't think the League Cup is good enough.
Mm.
I know that sounds backwards, but it's just not. It's just not.
Gee,
You know,
I-
FA Cup's up there for nostalgia reasons. Yeah, it's the longest running cup and blah blah blah.
well,
But he really needs to put a shift in for this Premier League. I'd rather win the Premier League and drop out of every other competition right now.
oh, of course.
But you
But
know,
did you know that your Spurs were top goal scorer in the FA Cup, like of all time? You scored the most goals in the FA.
yeah,
You
yeah,
were
we
until
were
it got beaten just about a week ago.
by
Trying to look it up. It was a.
Newcastle.
It's like a Northern Conference team
Oh,
because obviously they play like 10 rounds of the FA Cup before
yeah,
the big clubs come into it. But like they've actually just surpassed you by about 2 goals. But so they'll get eliminated and you'll be number one again.
yeah, because we're up there for all time FA Cup wins as well.
Right. Okay.
I think we're like third or fourth on the list.
I see. Well, see, yeah, even that would be good just to sort of get back in the running for trophies.
Yeah, that's it. So
And so, just to segue a little bit, going back to Leicester before we move on, what do you think about them? Because they're 20th, right? They're the bottom of the table. They've conceded something like 20 goals already, and just looked fucking trash. And there's been. Do you think that Leicester should cut ties with Brendan Rodgers and move on, or what do you think about that?
yeah, okay. That's an interesting one. Um, I like Brendan Rodgers. I think if you sack him now, you have to bring in somebody that can work with the team that's already there. You almost need to bring in a proven manager because there's no transfer window to change anything. Well, I
Ole
think
Gunnar Solskjaer.
no, not good enough. The players are there. Like, there's enough to make but yeah, on paper they're still a mid-table team. Um, yeah, they might lack a little bit of depth at the back. Up front, they've got plenty of options. Midfield, they're stacked. Yeah, I think you give him till Christmas. I think, and
Yeah, well,
if he's no better at Christmas, I think you then sack him, bring in a manager, and give him every chance during that midwinter window to get some people in and change the fortunes.
because they didn't even really change much. It's not like they sold. It's not like they sold all their best players or anything like that. It just seems to
No,
have
they
gone a bit
they
stale.
lost Michael, lost Fafana. That was about it.
Oh, true for Fana, I suppose. Yeah, and
Yeah, so
it seems like Vardy may be sort of coming to the end as well.
yeah,
Because
was he 34?
yeah,
34 is pace one of but they've got Iheanacho. They've got plenty of players that can play up front there. Madison can play as a false nine if you wanted him to. You got
well, it's interesting you mention Iheanacho because he is a player that Brendan Rodgers has completely written off. He doesn't really rate him, and he seems to
really.
have. Yeah, that's what I heard. So he's sort of been dropped down the order, and it's a shame because Iheanacho at one point when he transferred to Leicester was looking like, a top quality striker. He came from Manchester City, had this pedigree, and yeah, I don't know, I haven't seen much of him for a little while.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's interesting, eh? Yeah, you still got Tillermans there.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a few, eh?
Well, Madison
Ndidi's
too,
still
man.
there.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I think
Madison.
Madison's been so underrated lately too. I think that he's actually looked good in the team at the moment, even though they're struggling.
Yeah.
He's
He scored 3 times and assisted 1 in 7 games
yeah,
for
that's really good.
Madison. Um, Daka, the new forward they brought in, Patterson Daka.
Yeah. He looks good too. Or at least from
Yeah,
what I've seen on Football Manager.
Harvey Barnes,
Uh,
another good
Harvey Barnes is a
midfielder.
good
Like,
player. Yeah.
so like that, they have there's enough of a team there.
For sure.
Fullbacks and defence, they have enough.
They should do.
James
On paper, yeah.
Justin, Ryan Bertrand, Ricardo Pereira, Vestergaard.
Mm.
There's enough there that you can get by. It's better than some of those teams that have come up.
Yeah,
So
well, that's it. You're right. There's tons there, and I actually think that, mate.
Dennis Pratt.
Yeah, Dennis Pratt. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
right.
Yeah, again, so there's enough there that they should be able to get off that bottom of the table. It's just, and when you think about it, they've got 1 point from 7 games. Yeah, okay, it's not good enough.
That's pretty bad.
Everyone else is, you can go all the way up to 10th place. Is Newcastle on 8 points.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's not much of a difference, is it?
Yeah, and in that there are some shocking teams.
Yeah.
Everton are up there. You've got all these guys that we said would be in the bottom are there thereabouts. So I think they could just be on an unlucky run, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I think if they lose another match, it could be his job, but we'll see.
If he was sacked tomorrow, who would you bring in?
Thomas Tuchel.
I don't think he'd take the job.
They'd be able to find someone. Mario Pochettino?
Apparently he's going to Nice.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. Apparently he's being offered to Nice.
Oh, that's one other thing too. You just reminded me because Jesper Schmeichel was the they
Yeah.
did sell him, and obviously they've conceded 21 goals or whatever. So
Yeah.
he was a significant figure in that team, and he did transfer to Nice, I'm pretty sure. But
Yes, yeah. Nice have like the Premier League has-beens. They've got Ross Barkley. There's a few different ones in there. That
all right. Yeah.
Damari Gray's there.
Oh really? Oh man, I didn't realize.
Yeah. It's basically a Premier League like not good enough side. So that's funny.
See.
Yeah.
So anyway,
we'll see how it goes. It makes the Fulham the Bournemouth sacking of Scott Parker look really stupid.
Yeah. I know. It was
Rodgers still has a job. It just
yeah, totally. I feel like they did. Oh my god, you're so right. Sorry, I just looked up Nice then after you said it. So they have Jesper Schmeichel, Ross Barkley's in there, Morgan Schneiderlin, Aaron Ramsey,
yeah,
Nicola Pepe,
yeah,
and there's quite a few.
It's kind of funny, yeah.
And did you know too the other day they have this defender called Jean-Claude Todibo who came from, I think he's a Barcelona player actually. He has now set the record for the fastest red card ever. It was like I think it was like 16 seconds or something.
Oh, what did he do?
He just went straight in on someone. It was crazy. It's pretty funny. But
how can you do that?
Yeah, I know. It's just reckless ass. Just I don't understand. But anyway, I'm getting a bit off track here. So moving on. So after your Spurs boys doing very well, especially one man in particular who is not always a favourite, is Eric Dyer.
He's a favourite for me.
Yeah, I always has been, and he's even been scoring goals and stuff lately, which he went a very long time without scoring, and now he scored 2 in as many games. So, all credit to him, and of course he has sort of cemented his place in Gareth Southgate's England team.
Oh yeah, he's made the call up. I'm concerned because I don't trust Southgate to do the best for the team.
Yeah, okay, so this is what I wanted to talk to you about. Is that we've even said this before, like, do you think Southgate's time is done? Like, should he be...
Oh, I think so. I just don't think he's tactically good enough.
His tactics are so weird. He plays such defensive... It's like he plays 5 at the back and then plays 2 holding midfielders. It's like, what? 7 defenders, and then I don't understand. It's so strange.
And then he puts Harry Kane up top and goes, he'll score a goal.
Yeah, I'm just going to share. I'm just going to share you the if you go on Discord, I've just shared the image of the squad for England, and so like, can you see it?
Yeah.
So look at all those defenders, man. And there's like 5 midfielders.
Yeah, and I don't agree with it, eh?
It's so... I'm just going to chuck it on the stream as well. Like 5 midfielders, and one of them, Calvin Phillips, has actually just gotten an injury, and he may have to have surgery. So he's dropped from the squad, and may even miss the World Cup now too.
To be fair, he's not playing for City, so why should he be in the squad?
I know, that's actually what I said when he signed. I was like, so he's going to move to Manchester City and then never play.
Yeah.
It just seems like a weird move. Because everyone was saying like, oh, Man United missed out on him. And I was like, no, man, he missed out on playing football.
Yeah.
He's going to sit on the bench at City when he would have been in our first team. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, bizarre. And then, so they only pick... The thing is too, Mason Mount plays further forward too. He sometimes plays off the wing. So they only pick holding midfielders. So that's why players like Maddison are being overlooked. When He should be in the squad, man. It's bizarre to me.
Yeah, Madison should be in there. If it was up to me, I'd be playing if I was Southgate, I'd be playing a 4-3-3.
Yeah. Play
Yeah.
play positive modern football, and
Well, you play a 4-3-3 with Jude Bellingham, Ward-Prowse, and Declan Rice as your midfield three.
Jesus Christ, that's so good. That
Yeah.
sounds amazing.
Like Rice can hold. Bellingham can do anything.
Box to
And
box, yeah.
Ward-Prowse has the passing range of any player in the world.
Yeah.
So
like a
where
flat
do you go wrong there? Like
flat midfield 4-3-3, yeah.
Yeah.
That's really good.
That's what I was playing up front. Up front, it's obviously Harry Kane, Foden, and Sterling.
Yep.
Or
And then
Grealish. Sterling or Grealish. I don't bother. It doesn't mind. I don't mind either one. If it was me, I'd probably pick Grealish. I
well,
think Grealish is.
I really like Bukayo Saka. I think he's a very, very good player, very tenacious, and sometimes plays from that right wing back role as well. And so he very versatile. He had a good Euros as well, and
Yes.
and now or Tammy Abraham as well too has been, just his career has just advanced massively since moving to Roma and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And even Ivan Toney. See, they've got a lot of good options for number 9, but then the problem is you're never going to drop Harry Kane.
The real issue is you're never going to get the ball to them because you're playing 7 defenders.
Yeah, true. And that's the thing.
Where's the forward ball play? That's exactly why I'd have Bellingham and Ward-Prowse in the midfield, because they're the ones that are going to move the ball forwards, rather than having Declan Rice and Calvin Phillips who are going to pass sideways.
Yeah, and I suppose the only reason Kane actually sees the ball in this team is because he drops deep into midfield. So
Yep.
Yeah, true. This is really good. You're really right about this. I totally agree. It's so weird. And then like a player like Jared Bowen, who I'm surprised that Jared Bowen's in the team because his form has just been trash for the last the start of the season, end of last season and stuff, and they pass up on someone like Madison who would be able to add a bit of creative flair to the team.
Yeah, agreed. Or even why is Sancho not there instead of
Sancho's been great at the start of the season.
Sancho's easily a better player than Bowen. Easily.
Certainly.
And he's playing regularly, playing well. Bowen's not, so he's not playing well. So
like, I understand the dropping of Marcus Rashford and so on because he's still sort of earning his confidence back. But I'd probably still pick Rashford over Bowen as well. But
agreed. Yeah.
It's so weird.
It's so weird.
Well, and then also, even in these defenders, they have so many fucking defenders, and there's 4 right backs in there.
I'm waiting for this conversation.
You got Trent, Alexander-Arnold, Reece James, Kieran Trippier, Kyle Walker, who all play all right backs.
Well, can we almost take Kyle Walker out of the equation because he's going to play at centre back, that right side
back three. Yeah, and they've done weird.
So he should automatically be your second or third choice right back because he can play at centre back. So if that's the case, if he's in the squad, you only can take 2 more right backs. You don't need 3. Like, you don't need 4. You don't need 5. You've got one that can play centre back. Okay, you can pick 2 more.
And
it just doesn't make. Tripp's good. I don't know if Tripp is the right call though.
You get everything you get from Trippier. You get better from Alexander-Arnold. So Trippier maybe drops a little bit more, but even then, it just seems weird. Like it. Yeah, I don't know. And Reece James, man. Reece James is such a good wingback, man. He's such a good player, and it's just so strange to have all these people in there.
100%. I would. Yeah, obviously they're going to play a back 5. I would. Oh, sorry.
100%.
I would definitely we're going to play a back 5. So if it was my back 5, Ben Chilwell on the left.
Mhm.
Then on the left side, I'm going to play Stones.
Mhm. Yep.
I think Stones is playing well at the moment.
Mhm.
We'll play Eric Dyer in the middle.
Of course. Yep.
So I think if he's in the side, I think it's the only place he can play is in the middle of that back three.
Mhm. Mhm.
And Kyle Walker on the right side. And then the right side of fullback will be Reece James.
Solid. See, I think that is a good back five, and I would pick.
Yeah.
I'd pick roughly the same because obviously Harry Maguire's form has been not good for a while. Normally he would be in there.
He be in that side?
I actually reckon he'll start. I reckon he'll start in the game against Italy. Because Southgate, like he's already picked his players. He already knew who he wants to play before even looking at form. You know, that's his attitude.
But besides those ones I picked in my back five, the only you got Tamori there. Okay, he's in great form. Pick him.
Mhm. Yep.
You know, so you got Connor Cody.
That's a weird one. I don't dislike Connor Cody. I think he's a good player, but the fact that they passed on Ben White.
He's a seasoned veteran. Like that's why he's there, but he hasn't won anything.
He's very good at winding up players.
Why bring in a veteran player if they haven't won anything?
Yeah, and especially with Ben White playing so well for Arsenal. You know, Arsenal's defense have been solid as, and it seems a bit rough on Ben White, especially with Guehi being in there too.
Yeah, that's a nod to the future. You know, you're looking at your future tournaments and that. So I'd rather have him than Connor Cody. He's going to learn more, and he's going to be more used to you later on down the track.
Totally.
I don't think you need Connor Cody or Harry Maguire in that side. I think you can replace both of those. You can replace both of those with Ben White, and you're fine.
Yeah, and the thing too is Ben White plays right back as well. So he's quite versatile. So yeah, I know it's just strange. It's just such a weird selection. Obviously, I mean the three goalkeepers is fantastic. I'm totally happy with that. The only reason.
So who drops out? I think Henderson's the one that goes when Pickford's fit. Because the other two, to be perfectly honest, if I was going to start a goalkeeper there, it would be Nick Pope.
It's so hard to choose. I think all three of them are actually in good form.
Ramsdale's been having a good season, but I think Nick Pope is the better goalkeeper.
Yeah, I like Nick Pope because of the memes. Like he's and I think his
whole team on memes.
His move to Newcastle was like the smartest move he ever made. Like I think it's so good because he starts every game for Newcastle because obviously we picked up Dubravka, and Nick Pope is just such a intelligent player. Like he's got such good reactions and positioning and things like that. But then also Dean Henderson's been having a great time at Forest as well, and yeah, Ramsdale, like you said, has had a really good start. I mean, Ramsdale sort of dipped quite a bit last season. He didn't look really at his best, but still, it's three good options for sure.
Yeah, and Southgate's number one goalkeeper isn't even in there.
Yeah,
you know, if Pickford is fit, he picks Pickford every single time.
Yeah, that's actually the problem. So, like I said, he just has his squad already decided. It's so weird. I don't. Yeah, especially when you're picking players that are out of form or don't play. What message does that send to players who want to play for England? It's like, oh, I just have to be friends with Southgate rather than actually be good.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't fully understand it. You almost have 2 or 3 defenders too many, and you're short on midfielders. So
yeah, I know. Well, I suppose I think the two matches it says there the two matches they're playing is Italy and Germany. So it may be like a tactical decision, like we'll play back five against those two teams because they're going to be very good. So
thing is, like you said, he pre-picks his squad. So when he goes up against a bottom tier team, which they should smash, he'll still play a back seven.
You're right. I know that's so frustrating.
That dumb that
those
Not
are
a
the
fan.
games when you want to be playing your Jaden Sancho and your Saka, like your young, hungry players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agree.
But look, it'll probably look again. I feel like we say this every time. Like this will be Southgate's downfall, But I don't know. He just seems to be picked anyway. I mean, he did get to a final in the Euros, so probably does deserve to get the World Cup. But I think if they can't really do anything major in this tournament, then maybe it's time to move on.
With the squad, where do you think they'll finish at the World Cup?
Out in the group, no, no. I reckon maybe they'll win one knockout game and then go out.
Yeah, I would have said last 16.
Yeah. So possible. I can't. I mean, like I said, they did get to the final in the Euros. They had a very good run. They had a very easy sort of way through and stuff. They did. I think they beat Germany, didn't they? But yeah, I don't know. I just don't have a lot of faith in this team. And if they do win, it's going to be a 1-0. So yeah.
Yeah, it's not. We'll see. The other annoying thing is he said in interviews before that Madison is world class. Yet you
Really?
can't pick him for your squad. Yeah.
It's so weird. I don't understand. I just don't get it. And yeah, And there's just too many good English right backs.
Yeah, right.
It's like Lamptey.
Well-
Lamptey's never even had a cap, so and he's amazing. So
Yeah. Well, the thing is, do you move Trent from a fullback to a midfielder?
it didn't work. Like in theory, on
He's-
paper, it should
you know what?
work, but
God,
no.
to be honest, he's just not good. He's just not good enough at an international level. I think he'll get found out.
He's not strong enough. He's a bit too lean. He's good at like slipping past people and whipping across, but when he's trying to midfield, he's not a midfield battler. He doesn't have that sort of energy for the midfield. I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah. But yeah, look. Probably going to be Southgate's downfall. But so anyway, I have a bunch of the matches here. There are a few exciting ones, of course. England will play Italy, and England will also play Germany in this. But let's see, France is going to play Austria, and so that's interesting because, of course, Ralf Rangnick is in charge of Austria these days. He seems to have been doing quite good. I'm curious to see how they're going to do against France. And my boys, the Netherlands, are going to play Poland, which will be another good one. Yeah. Oh, Netherlands are also going to play Belgium, which will be cool. That's always a good match. England, Germany, Portugal, Spain. That's another good one. I'd like to see that. And the rest is sort of what you'd expect. There's a ton of games here, so. Yeah. But.
Australia, New Zealand.
What, in Nations League?
The Nations. No, but in the window though.
Oh, is that actually happening? I didn't realize. Okay,
Yeah,
cool. That's fun.
Yeah, it's Winston Reid's last game for the All Whites.
Really? Oh.
Yeah.
He's back. Because he'd been dropped for a little bit, hadn't he? Because
he's been there for a while. He was playing in the qualifications for the World Cup.
Oh, I see. Well, he doesn't really
Where
play.
is he at Vancouver at the moment, I think?
Yeah, I know he was in the MLS. He's
still in the MLS.
Oh, what? No, bro. He's at Brentford.
What?
He's on loan at Brentford.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's so weird.
That's random, eh?
Yeah, I didn't know that. Wait, is he still there? Oh no, wait, what? Oh. I don't even know. No, sorry, my mistake. He was at Brentford last season, apparently. I didn't even know. But He must be back at West Ham.
No, he's not at West Ham.
Is he just unsigned or something?
He's in the MLS.
No, it doesn't look like it because it was a loan. He was still always a West Ham player, but he was on loan at Kansas. I think he might be unsigned. Yeah. Okay, so sorry, he was at Brentford when they got promoted. Yeah, I think he's unsigned.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Hmm.
He is 34.
Yeah, and he's been done for a while, to be honest. Quite interesting, but yeah, but okay, that'd be interesting. His last game, I suppose it's like a testimonial. But,
yeah, well, yeah. Also against Aussie, it's a big game for them. So
yeah, that's cool. Okay. All right. Anything else you want to say on England or the internationals or anything like that? That kind of covers it.
I think that about covers it. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay. So, the only thing I have left to talk about is Manchester United, if you want to indulge me.
Yeah, besides the players making it into the England squad where they shouldn't be, what else have you got?
It's annoying because they picked the one who got completely dropped. Like, Luke Shaw and Harry Maguire are picked, and neither of them have played and been trash when they did play. And then Rashford and Sancho, who have both revitalized their form and looking great, are just completely overlooked.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, it's bizarre. I don't get it, and it's just so strange. I just don't understand what's going on with England. But so we did make headlines just the other day. I did a video on this about Manchester United being the largest overpayers for players in the transfer window of the last decade.
Yeah.
And so, that makes sense. We spent like $1.5 billion on players.
I thought you were going to say on Pogba alone.
Pogba is still our record signing. He was like £93 million or something. But apparently, according to these findings, we underpaid. Pogba was valued 140 mil at the time we signed him.
Okay.
What do you think of that? This is insane. I was like, what the fuck? I suppose he was peak, like crushing at Juventus and stuff like that. But
yeah, peak Pogs.
Yeah,
I mean, you wouldn't go for free.
Yeah, but like the thing is, so we're first. We spent 1.6 billion, it's estimated that the players we purchased were worth roughly 1.35 billion. So we're only looking at a difference of about 234 million, which, I mean, obviously that's a massive number, but percentage-wise, it's only 18%. I mean, overpaying by 18% is nothing. Like, I'm paying about 18% more on my groceries lately, so it's not much of I don't really see that as much of a, so what? You overpay by 18% and then, I don't know, like, when it comes down to signing the players you want, overpaying by 18% is nothing. Do you agree?
No, I agree. I think it's more down to how much did you sell them back on for? If you make something back, then the 18% means nothing.
Yeah, well, that's what this graph, these findings or whatever, don't include. It's not about profit and things like that. It's just about paying market value. So that's why it's a bit weird. It doesn't really tell you a lot. It's sort of a bit deceptive because we don't make profit on players. Not really. I don't think we've sold anyone for a profit aside from Lukaku, and it wasn't really that much.
No.
So, yeah, I think that it's not. Yeah, it's a bit deceiving. It doesn't really tell you much. But yeah, aside from that, though, I think that we overpaid recently for Anthony. We paid £70 million or something for him, and I don't know. He looks pretty good to me. Like I'm pretty happy with the signings we made. They said we overpaid for Martinez as well, and I think Lisandro Martinez has been amazing. Go ahead.
I agree. I think he's I don't think it's so much of an over. Maybe by a little bit, but it's not enough to worry about.
Yeah.
To get a good player in, it's worth it.
Yeah, and 100% it has been. Like Martinez has been awesome, an amazing player, 5'9", plays like a 6-footer, no worries, and he's good friends with your boy actually, Ramiro. Obviously, they both play for Argentina together, so
yeah,
decent pair, I'd say. And
the feisty pair, right?
Well, that's it. So he's such a tenacious player, man. He goes in hard. He gives 110% for sure, and it's exactly what we didn't have. So, and left-footed, I like that. Opens up a lot more passing options from centre back. So pretty happy at the moment. We did lose to Real Sociedad because of a bullshit penalty, but from Lisandro Martinez, actually, the handball. Did you see that one?
Yeah, it's what you overpay for, though, isn't
it? I guess so. But yeah,
that's why you overpay for it. Like if he doesn't give away that penalty, then you didn't overpay for him.
True. But I mean, he didn't even. There wasn't even. It's never a penalty. It's so bullshit. But anyway, but we lose that one. That sucks. But then we did beat Sheriff 2-0 away, so that's good. That's what we needed, and really good to see players like Rashford and Sancho actually kind of capturing this form back again. And Ronaldo too has finally scored. He had a goal drought and scored a penalty in the game against Sheriff, which was good to see. Good. Hopefully that'll get him back on it. And yeah, I still don't know what's happening with that situation. It looks like for the foreseeable future, Ronaldo will actually be on the bench. It's hard to know if he's done or not, because even I was forgetting that he didn't get back to training. He was back to training 6 weeks after everybody else. So you think that it's Ronaldo and you're like, he's a fucking fitness god, but maybe not. Maybe it's just he is 6 weeks behind everyone else. And so he might be able to...
I heard he was lined up to go to Chelsea in January.
In January?
Mm-hmm.
Hard to know.
There was one of the Tuchel points is Tuchel didn't want him.
Yeah.
And the new Chelsea board want him.
And
that's one of the things that lead to the breakdown of communication between the two. So there is talks that he could be on his way to Chelsea.
Okay, interesting.
Apparently it was agreed by player and the board both wanted them.
Well, the only thing with that though is that if Man U are sitting higher than Chelsea in the table come January, I don't think you want to go, because the whole reason is supposed to be because Champions League, right? And if they're not going to qualify, we may have a better chance. It could be a really tough decision, to choose between which one of us are going to be in the Champions League. And yeah,
because he's played in the Europa League, can he still play in the Champions League?
Not this season.
Yeah, so there's no point in moving him.
It's the end of his contract anyway. So, yeah. So I think that, man, if anything, he probably should be grateful he didn't move, because they've been sort of, dipped hard.
Yeah.
And so, but other than that, pretty happy the way things are going. I think Erik ten Hag is a good coach. He's definitely got some good ideas. He knows how to motivate the squad, which was something we certainly weren't able to do earlier. And all signings have been positive. Ericsson has been absolutely fantastic, moving into a deeper role. So yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. And yeah, Ericsson's just a fantastic player. Like, I can't deny that. Obviously, I know you must be a bit sad about that, but
Yeah, he's probably the one missing piece in our squad is a player like Ericsson.
Awesome. Maybe you should get Madison.
That's the talk. Apparently, next summer we are going after Madison.
Yeah, someone needs to.
Leicester wanted 60 mil, and we weren't going to pay.
True.
Apparently, Newcastle offered like 45 mil.
Oh, really? Yeah, I saw something about that. He had an offer.
Yeah, we could be in for Madison at the end of the season.
Yeah, cool.
If Leicester go down, then big time we're in for them.
Oh man, if Leicester go down, bro, it's gonna be a raid. They have tons of good players. Like, you know, we're looking for a backup right back because I'm still unsure about Wan-Bissaka, but Ricardo Pereira, fuck yeah, man, I'll take that any day. Ricardo Pereira's an awesome player, or even their other fullback, Castagna. He's awesome too. So
yeah.
Oh,
so, yes.
Sorry, it just scares me every time. I was not expecting it.
How loud is that through the headphones as well?
Yeah. So, all things good for now. It's actually fascinating to see all signings working out like they have done, because Malacia on the left back has just been fantastic. Ericsson playing great. Martinez obviously is unplayable at this moment. Like, he's so good. And even Anthony scoring that sweet goal on debut and just sort of coming into the team really well. He actually got in a bit of trouble for winding up the opposition fans too much. I kind of like that though.
I enjoy that.
Yeah. And so it's all good. Pretty happy with things at the moment. But our next match is Manchester City, and it's after this big huge break, which kind of sucks. So it might not. It's Man City at Emirates as well. So that could be a pretty tough match considering.
Isn't that a good time to play them? Because they'll be in a great form. And even if you're in good form, is it still not better to come back after they've had a break and they've all been playing with different teams and that?
Yeah, good point. I don't know. I'm just not. Yeah, but
hopefully Haaland will get injured on international duty and things like
that. Hopefully. Well, actually, it's funny because there's no he's not going to the World Cup. Because Norway is not in the World Cup. So that's kind of interesting. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's about all I want to say. So far, so good. Haven't had any matches really to talk about. But next one's Man City, so it's gonna be a big test. It's our next big game. We beat Arsenal when they were, winning every game. So hopefully we can at least get a draw away. I'd totally take that. Okay, so I just have one last thing to talk about. Is that it's basically how much I seem to really hate Barcelona these days. Piece of shit club. What can I say? And
yeah.
I heard these interesting things about all their contracts and things, and they've been doing some weird, shady shit, man. So, like, they forced all of their players to take pay cuts and stuff like that, and they've added in some weird clauses for players now too. Like, if players are injured and can't play, they receive like massively reduced wages.
Yeah,
and so one of those in particular is Ousmane Dembele, because he was pocketing like $250K per week to be injured for like a whole season.
Yeah,
I sort of understand, but another one is this. So we were talking about teams that overpaid. Barcelona's not even in that list. The top 20 teams of overpaying, they're not even in the top 20, which is insane because they paid 140 mil for Ousmane Dembele, 160 mil for Coutinho, 120 mil for Griezmann. Like, it's just insane. And so Ousmane Dembele, which was an insane transfer fee, is now only valued at about 50 mil. And so he has, I wouldn't have even re-signed him, to be honest. I would have let him go. But he has a release clause of 50 million. And apparently the agent fee alone of that transfer fee is 25 mil. So if they sell him for 50 mil, 25 immediately goes to the agent. Just so crazy.
What, are they just saying he's only worth 25 mil then?
I guess so. Yeah. Yeah.
Agent to get the extra 25.
Yeah. Because it probably would have been like, if when he was valued at 120 mil, the agent fee would be 25 mil, right? That kind of makes sense. That was about what the fee was for Erling Haaland's deal as well. But then since fees dropped so much, he still gets his 25. So, yeah, crazy. And yeah, but it seems like there's a bunch of those kind of deals where they just sort of, they have a lot of players to get rid of, because they also got rid of Martin Braithwaite in like a crazy way as well. They just sort of writ him off and just let him go. Now he plays for oh shit, I can't remember who it is. It's another Spanish team, but Braithwaite has moved and started off to a flying start, so yeah. Oh, well, okay.
He is unlucky.
Yeah. Well, apparently Xavi just doesn't like him.
Yeah.
Just said nah. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that is about it for today. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, just back onto the FA Cup.
Yes.
I have the lead all-time winners list.
Oh, okay. Yep. Go ahead.
So just had it. It is Arsenal with 14, Manchester United with 12,
mm-hmm.
and then a three-way tie between Chelsea, Tottenham, and Liverpool with 8.
Okay. Oh man. So who was top? Arsenal. Sorry, was it Arsenal?
Arsenal 14, United 12, Chelsea, Tottenham, Liverpool, Villa with 7.
Really? Hmm.
Burn, Newcastle, and Man City all with 6.
Okay. It does drop off quite a bit, I suppose, but like, yeah. What was it called?
Oh, yeah.
Still trying to find that one before. The top goal scorer of all time. I can't remember. National League. Kettering Town. So Kettering Town are the ones that just... Yeah, I know. Because they play in the National League North. So Kettering Town just recently broke the record, the FA Cup record for highest goal scorers. Pretty sure. Yeah.
On them.
Pretty wild. Yeah, but again, all you have to do is score a hat trick, and then you're number one again.
I'm sure we can do that in this FA Cup season. So
yeah. Okie dokie. So yeah, that's about it for the podcast today. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and tell all your friends about the show. And yeah, we'll catch you next time.